Welcome to Outback Outdoors. Make sure you like, subscribe, and click the alert to stay up to date on all our new videos.
Terrain. The type of terrain you're going to be hunting is also going to be huge in your success. It's going to dictate the method of your hunting. Now, I'm going to point somebody out in the audience. Larry, raise your hand. Larry, I've hunted with Larry 3-4 years now. I think Larry and I have built ground blinds. We've spot and stalked. We've ambushed. I mean, I don't know, there isn't something we haven't tried. We haven't ever hung a tree stand yet. There's lots of areas or methods, right? So if you're in a backpacking, high country, early September hunt, most likely you're not packing in a tree stand. Unless you're with this guy, he's going to pack it in for me. Right? So it's just going to dictate. But if I'm in broken country, maybe going into some ag fields, I might look at using some type of natural blind, okay, and ambushing. But there's nothing better than glassing up a buck in the morning, watching him bed, and making a plan, and then getting your stalk on. There's nothing more exhilarating. Early season scouting and researching. When I'm doing that, whether I'm using Onyx or some type of mapping program or in the field, a lot of times I'm not scouting bucks. I'm scouting my glassing points. Okay? You can wear out a ton of boots, I promise you. And it'd be not as effective as if you just sit down and glass. And when are we going to be glassing? Early morning, late evening, right? I've picked up some deer that were midday, that got up to move. We'll talk a little bit about that, their day beds. But the majority of my scouting and early research is finding where am I going to be glassing from at first light. That's going to set my expectations for that day, and hopefully I'm going to find a buck that I'm going to be able to make a play on. So let's talk about glassing and picking your spot. I don't think it's out of a method to say, let's get up high, okay? Yeah, you want to be somewhere where you have some height, where you can cover some country, okay? So picking those glassing spots, this is a great picture, but could I glass here all day? Heck no, that looks uncomfortable. Well, I guarantee it was uncomfortable. That was a pretty cool photo op, so I clambered out there. We were actually glassing a little further back. I'm looking for a spot that I can glass all day. Now, who carries binos on their chest? Probably everybody. I mean, you have to be, especially spotting and stalking where there's timber. I mean, I'm glassing as I'm taking every 2 or 3 steps I'm glassing, right? But I have a proverbial shake. So for me to sit down with handheld binoculars, I like a 10x42 myself, okay? I'll give myself seasickness because I got a shake, okay? So if I'm looking at something, that's great. But if I'm gonna glass, I'm gonna go to a tripod mounted bino. So I carry my 10x42s on my chest in my bino harness. And then in my backpack, I have 15x50s that I use on a outdoorsman tripod. There's a lot of tripods out there. I like the outdoorsman. So people ask me all the time, hey, what kind of a tripod do you use? I say outdoorsman, then they look at the price. They go, golly. The problem is I've had it for 12 years, and I've never had a problem. I've had 3 other tripods that people sent me, hey, try this out. They didn't last a season. You get what you pay for, okay? So I am constantly 15s on a tripod, which allows me to pick. Everybody has a different glassing style. Some people go in columns, some people grids, and I'm not here to tell you what to do. You just got to be able to look and look for all of the easy stuff and move over. Then you start looking for ear flicks, for a tine twitch, for an eyeball blink, right? Then I pull out the big boy, spotting scope. I'm going to be honest, if I'm on a backpacking trip, the spotting scope doesn't come with me. Unless I was with you, you would have it in your pack. You and I need to talk. Because, wait, and I can, with my 15s, I can really pick apart some country. But the nice thing about a spotting scope is I have the ability to now dictate, okay, how good is that buck? What else is around him? Is there another deer there? Now I can really zone in. Again, spotting scope on a tripod, same tripod, it's just an adapter, boom, 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 you're off and running. Questions? There's some great spotting scopes out there. There's some great glass out there. People ask me, what do you use? I use a Swarovski. It's expensive. But like I said, I also have had it for 10 years. It's a lifetime warranty. I know guys that have bought other glass and had to send them back in. That's fine. Take care of them. But the one thing that I find is that first 30 minutes of light and the last 30 minutes of light, that's the difference, okay, in your glass quality. But I've also used a Maven, I've also used a Tract. There's a lot of good glass out there, okay? So buy the best glass you can afford. Do you understand that? Does that make sense? Just buy the best glass you can afford. I'd rather you spend the majority of your money on your glass and your boots, okay? Then buy your bow off of, go to No Limits Archery and find somebody who buys a new bow every year and buy your old bow, okay? And I shoot a Hoyt. You know, I'm being honest with you, okay? All right, the next thing is get comfortable. People take this for granted. Chair. If I'm in a situation where I'm not going real far, I'll take one of these little chairs so that I can sit, backrest, and get my spotting scope and literally just be comfortable and glass for hours. The other thing about nice glass is it doesn't give you the eye strain. Who's glassed for hours on end and had a headache? I have. There's nothing, you're like, God, did you slip me a Mickey? Man, my head hurts. Well, it's the eye strain. I'm going to explain what eye strain is. Binoculars have a edge-to-edge clarity, okay? So any binocular on the market today, if you look in the center, it's going to be crystal clear. The difference in the $3,500 pair of binos and the $300 pair of binos is the clarity as you go out to the edge of the glass. What your eye will naturally do is look in the clearest spot on the glass. So if I'm looking and I've got this hillside, let's just say it's like this, but my direction is this way, and I'm looking over here with my eyeball naturally wants to force back to the center, because that's the clearest thing. The only way I can avoid that is by keeping my eyeball in the center of the glass and turning my binocular with my tripod. But you don't do that. You look and you look all through your field of view, but your eyeball wants to go back to the center. That's what causes eye strain. Swarovski's feels clear, it's clear from the edge to the center. Where others you're going to find as you look on the edge, it's not as clear, so your eyeball wants to go back to the center. Okay, spend enough time on it. You guys recognize this? It's like a thermarest, right? Except it's real tiny. Oh, it might not seem like much, but especially when it's cold, just keeping your butt off of the ground, it's much more comfortable. Find you a good rock, put your backpack on it, put that down, you can lean back, set up. Again, get comfortable. The other thing, of course, and use a dadgum tripod. Always use a tripod. Okay, I beat that horse. I think we'll move on. Glassing spot. Where's my glassing spot? It's all about location, location, location. How much country can you cover? If you've researched an area, you should be able to, it's a no-brainer if this is where they feed and this is where they bed. But if you've been in the area a little bit, you should have an understanding of the movement of the deer. And that's what we're going to be looking for. Okay? So the glassing spot, we want to cover as much country they're going to be going through so that we can catch them as they're moving from feeding to bed. When they get up, move around during the day, we catch them, etc., etc. Okay? So it's all about the location, location, location. I know guys that protect their glassing spots more than they do their hunting areas. Because you can go in their hunting areas, you can't see jack. but from these couple of glassing spots. Then all of a sudden it opens everything up. Okay?
Thanks for watching Outback Outdoors. We encourage you to comment below, and as always, like, subscribe, and click the alert to stay up to date on all our new videos.